I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, and I fear no evil because I'm blind to it all. In my mind, in my gun, they comfort me, because I know I'll kill my enemies when they come.
Good morning from Middle Ray Lakes, where the sun is just creeping over the mountains behind me to the east and lighting up the top of Thin Dome here to the west side of Middle Ray Lakes. We woke up this morning to about 38 degrees. It's a little after 7 o'clock now, and we're getting breakfast ready and enjoying a light show here. On the path of the right, because I'm wrong. When I came upon a man at the top of a hill.
Well, good morning. Today is September 10th, Monday. Yeah, this is our morning at Middle Ray Lakes. It's been a stunning morning, watching the sun peek over top of Thin Dome and over on this side of our camp. Off in the distance is the Painted Lady. People are stirring. It's sun's been out for about an hour. Everybody's been running around taking pictures and getting the bear cans, and I've already brewed a cup of coffee. There's a guy, a young kid that was down here below us. Camp. He already packed up and headed off. He was doing the whole Glen Trail, so he got an early start. It's a little nippy this morning, about 38, 37, somewhere in there. Nothing's frozen, which is good. But this is our camp. I slept pretty good for the most part. Slept inside my locust gear shelter on the air mattress. Weren't able to put stakes in the ground, so I just had to collect a bunch of big fat rocks. I sat in my chair this morning with the sleeping bag over my legs and watched the sun come up over the peaks. Now we can get some breakfast going.
My soul is down. I said I know when I die.
Well, we're starting our hike out of Ray Lakes. We gotta attain this pass. It's 11,996 feet. It's called Glen Pass. I think for the most part, it's the crux of the climb of this hike, because this is going to be the hardest section. It's almost 2,000 feet in 2 miles. Let's take our time. We'll be up to altitude. We'll see how we do. Once we get to the top, it's about 18 miles downhill to the car, we hope. We got a long way today. We got about 8.5, I think, to get to Junction Meadow, which is our 4th night on the trail. Well, we're working our way up Glen Pass. We've got a couple hours of this. We're almost at 11,000 feet, not quite. And we've already climbed over 500 feet from the lake. We're getting there, one step at a time. We're about 10,900 feet right here. We got a ways to go. Another 1,000 feet. A lot farther to go. Another another hour of this or more. What was I thinking? This pass is 11,996 feet. It's almost 12,000 feet to the top up there. We have to go up and over that. We got a long way to go. And of course the sun's beating down on us. But at least up here, the air is a little cooler. It's not so bad. When you get a little higher up, we should be able to see all three of the Ray Lakes and God knows what else. But when it gets to the tough parts like this, it's straight up, you gotta have a mantra. You gotta be able to sing something or think something or keep your mind off of it. So right now I'm at 68 bottles of beer in the wall. 68 bottles of beer in the wall. 68 bottles of beer. Take one down, pass it around. 67 bottles of beer on the wall. Looks like we got a group coming up ahead here. Looks like a good time for a break. Like we're doing it. Well, right now we're about almost 11,200 right here. Working our way up Glen Pass. It's pretty steep. But we're getting there. We're definitely above timberline at this point. You can see lake number 3 down there, Ray Lake number 3. Lake number 2 to the left.
Climbing Glen Pass, it's kicking my thing behind me. Anthony's killing it today. He's drinking some, I don't know what, he shot some cocaine or something before we started. I don't know what it is, but let's see how long it lasts. So, we got a lot of up. You think that's the top? That's nothing. Another 1,000 feet or something past that. So, going steady, looking back at first Ray Lake, upper Ray Lake, whatever it is. But nothing but up, and away.
We're getting there slowly but surely. I've been taking Hammer Gel Perpetuum. I poured about half a bottle this morning. I've been pounding that all the way up here. I've been feeling pretty good actually. And it helped that we had a couple of days to acclimate. We stayed at 4,500 when we were down at the campground in Kings Canyon. Stayed at 66 at the Middle Paradise Valley Camp. And then we stayed another night at the trail, Jumir Trail Junction, right where the Woods Creek Bridge is. And then last night we were at the Middle Ray Lake Sloop. So today we got to get up and over this pass. We were at the 21-mile mark back there at the ranger station, so we're probably at mile 24, 25 on our adventure. But once we get to the pass, we got to go steeply down the other side. Our next camp at Junction Meadows is at 8,400 feet, and we're at almost 12, so we got 4,000 foot of decline coming. That's going to be hard on our legs, especially after this incline. Up there somewhere is Glen Pass, and down below it are these little glacial torrents. But we got to go up there somewhere. The girls are in front of us. They're little ants working their way up the rocks over there. That's where we're going. Looks like it.
So there's some switchbacks going up and somewhere over there. Yeah, we started out this morning from our campsite right down the little peninsula there. And we've been trekking along by these lakes here and up some serious up. and we saw people at the top. They look they look a long way away.
29 bottles of beer now. We're doing it. We're doing it. Getting there one step at a time.
Looking back at Ray Lakes, I came across through there and working a boatload of switchbacks up to here, and that's the summit up there. See some people walking along the top up there, so we've got some really steep stuff here, but it's not a lot further to go.
Noticing pass is up there. We're getting there. I think that's where we're going. I'll run out of beer. There's somebody at the pass right over there. See him? Those are the girls, I think. Nearing the pass. Not there yet. It's the Ray Lakes Basin. Gerry's working his way over. Getting kind of dizzy. I think that's the pass right there.
Holy Moses. Okay, this is my last video before the top, but you could see people walking around up there on the top, so we're just about there, and just got a straight section left to go here. Okay, this is the last section leading up to 12,000 foot Glen Pass. A little bit more level than usual, but there's a big push up here for the final piece to the top. It's been a tough climb. It's been windy. Felt like it was going to knock me over at times. Probably going to be cold when I get up here, but happy to be on the top and then being safe going down the other side.
Well, there's the pass right there. I'm down to 4 bottles of beer in the wall. 4 bottles of beer in the wall. 4 bottles of beer. Take one down. Pass it around. 3 bottles of beer in the wall. 3 bottles of beer in the wall. 3 bottles of beer. Take one down. Pass it around. 2 bottles of beer in the wall. 2 bottles of beer in the wall. 2 bottles of beer. Take one down, pass it around. 1 bottle of beer in the wall. We're almost there. A little dizzying up here. We're almost there. 2 bottles of beer. Holy shit. Look at this. Check this out. Look what's on that side. That's what you call a view, and I think that's our trail down there. Damn. I get down here without busting my ass because I'm a little weak and a little dizzy. That is definitely the pass. 1 bottle of beer on the wall. 1 bottle of beer. Take one down. Pass it around. 1 more bottles of beer in the wall. Hope you're not squeamish of heights, anybody.
Welcome.
Hey, I made it.
Welcome to the night.
What a view, huh? Could they made it any narrower? Whew. That was an ass kicker. And you got view off that way. And a view off this way. What do you think, Jerry?
Finally ran out of up.
Thank God. All downhill from here.
Yeah, but it's not going to be easy.
I know.
So I have to fall down. It's going to be a chore.
Well, we made it to Glen Pass. We're at 11,966 feet right here. And this is the pinnacle of our adventure, I think. We got to do a 42-mile Ray Lakes loop. And this is going to be the high point right here. This is as high as it gets. On this side is heading back down toward the west and Roads End where we parked the car. We're still another 15 miles or so from the car. And in the meantime, we're going to take a few minutes here and enjoy the top of Glen Pass right here. You can see the views behind me going for miles and miles. We came from way down in those canyons down there. So, but this is day 4 of our adventure. We spent a night at the Sentinel Campground in town, sort of in town, in the main part of Kings Canyon National Park. Then we hiked up the Woods Creek Trail and spent a night at the Middle Paradise Valley Camp. And then from there, we hiked up. It was a pretty tough hike from there, uphill up to 8,500 feet at the Woods Creek Junction with the John Muir Trail. And that's where we crossed over the Woods Creek Bridge, which was phenomenal. And then the next day we hiked up another 2,000 feet up above Dollar Lake and Arrowhead Lake up to the lower Ray Lake and then the middle Ray Lake where we camped last night. And then today we've come from down there. That's the Ray Lakes down there. It's the Ray Lakes Basin. Our camp was on the middle of that point, in the middle of the 3 lakes down there. And then today we've come all this way up here. It's been a tough climb, but it's been worth it. Worth it for views like this here in Kings Canyon National Park.
Well, we are here. Came up that last piece. Most of the people are sitting over there. This is the top of Glen Pass. We're at just under 12,000 feet. We worked a ton of switchbacks coming up and down this and down around this lake here and back to right there was our campsite last night at Ray Lakes. So those are the Ray Lakes down there. This is the summit and there's the exit route. It goes down and switchbacks around down around it's like a heart. Is that Heart Lake? I forgot. And somewhere down, it's going to be a dead metal will be down below that hole there. That'll go off to Kearsarge Pass. Then we'll continue on down to up below around 8,800 tonight. So we have to drop about 4,000 feet to get to our campsite. Circle. Still got about 15 miles to go, but it's all downhill, which is not easy either.
Oh, here's our view from the pass. Here's the pass right here. What's that? Yeah, we're gonna get a photo op right here looking down at this lake. Looks like a bear paw or something. You can see where we're going. Going down there, zigzagging all the way down. It's a steep drop, I tell you what. How you guys doing?
All right.
Where you guys headed tonight?
Upper center, what is it called? Center Basin. Center Basin.
Where's that at?
Up past Vidette.
Oh, okay.
Oh, around the corner.
You guys doing the whole John Muir Trail?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Where'd you guys stay last night?
Right at Arrowhead Lake.
Oh, Arrowhead. That looks like a nice lake.
Yeah, very nice.
How many more days you got before you finish?
I think we got on the 13th, so 4?
Yeah.
No, 3.
Yeah. How long is it gonna take you?
2 more nights and 1 out. Yeah.
What's your total duration? Like 3 weeks?
Huh? We did 19 days. That'll be our 19th day.
Yeah. That's good. You guys are averaging what, about 18 a day or something?
Oh no.
12, I think. 12, 13?
Well, a little over 12.
Okay.
Or probably less. 12.
Oh, that's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, consecutively.
It's hard.
Yeah, that's right.
And after this, you got what? Forester Pass, and then
Forester and
Whitney.
Whitney.
Yep. Well, good luck.
It keeps getting harder. It doesn't get any easier.
I know. Somebody else said. I said, it seemed a little easier at that end of the mountain range.
It did, really.
So, alrighty.
You guys take care.
All right, take care, guys. We're doing the Ray Lakes Loop. We're going to be heading back around to Roads End, so we're not going that way.
Right.
Take care, man. Be safe.
Care, yeah.
Well, this is the lake we're looking at. Look at the color of that thing. There's the pass right there, Glen Pass. We're going to be heading down this way. Quite the ways. You can see our trail. It's meandering down, goes along the edge, works its way down steeply. You can see the trail going down there to the right of the lake as it bends around the corner and goes up and over and heads down, looks like through that canyon. A long ways to go today. Check this out. Look at all of our switchbacks right here. I wondered how we got down there so fast. Now we know. Just be careful, Jerry. There's some big steps right there. Pass is right there on the right. Now you can tell how we get down there so fast. Look at all the switchbacks. And all the ant-like people coming up and going down. Praise whoever made these switchbacks, because that's where we came from, up there at the pass, and that's where we're going. You can see our trail. I thank God it's downhill, but even being downhill, you're thinking it's much easier. Well, it kind of is, but you have to worry about your quads giving out on you, and for me, on these shoes, my right foot toes on the steep downhills kind of jam into the ends. So we'll see at the end of this trip if I end up keeping all my toenails. We'll see. And this is obviously easier than going uphill, but you still have to be careful because you're likely to slip on this talus and rocks and gravel. And that's why I got trekking poles. And that's why it's so critical to extend them, make them longer, and flip them out in front of you. So it kind of slows your descent, makes it a little easier on your legs, and it's safer. So we're working our way down from Glen Pass. There's a trail junction, a mile or so, where I think that's where we split off and continue the Ray Lakes Loop. Everybody else is going to go left and stay on the John Muir Trail, because that's what we're on right now. We're on the John Muir Trail right now. This is amazing. Well, we've come up over this rise. Have a little unexpected uphill, but you're looking toward the Charlotte Dome over there in the distance, and down below us is Charlotte Lake. There's a seasonal ranger station at Charlotte Lake. So we're going to be continuing south on the John Muir Trail this way. That the sawtooth edges you see right there, the mountain peaks, that's the Kearsarge Pinnacles. I've camped down there before. Right below that down there in this valley is Junction Meadows. That's where we're going to be passing through, and we're going to make a right and veer off the John Muir Trail, head down toward Bubbs Creek, back to Roads End. But everybody else We'll be continuing south on the John Muir Trail toward Forester Pass. Yeah, we're still 11,000 feet, so we got to get down so we can get some water. I'm running low.
Just take one fella off your fella bed.
Well, we just passed the turnoff for Charlotte Lake, and we're hoping to find a creek or something. Anthony's running pretty dry. I got a little bit left, but the heat's killing us, and we need to find some water.
Here's a countryman and he just done moved to town. Here's a country.
No, we're working our way down from Charlotte Lake toward Bullfrog Lake on our way to the Vedette Meadows, and we came across a trail crew. So if you ever wondered who does all this hard work and makes these trails hikeable, and makes these steps and water bars, it's these guys right here. Whatever they make, they need to make double. This is hard work.
And send him back to the field so he can raise some more. Oh yeah, baby, just make me down and pat it on your floor.
Boy, this has been a tough stretch. This is one of our toughest stretches. I can't even really talk. I'm pretty severely dehydrated. I only packed about a quart and a half to go up and over Glen Pass, thinking that on the other side we could refill down one of the lakes down there, but the trail didn't go by the lake. And for the next like 4 miles, there was nothing but hot, dry desert. And way up high on the ridge line, no water access. I slid through every last drop of water that I had. So now I finally got this creek. This is life's blood right here, this water, man. This is gonna be good. Oh, man. Water's pink because I had like a Gatorade mix in it. Oh, this is good. Even the dragonflies like it. All right, we're working our way down toward Vedette Meadows. We got to make a stop over by Bullfrog Lake to hydrate. Boy, I was severely dehydrated. You know, I thought a liter and another bottle of 24 ounces would be enough to get me over the pass. And yeah, I was mistaken on that one. Because once we got over the pass and started working our way down, we got into this hot, dry canyon, and it was pretty bad. And then even from then all the way down around Charlotte Lake, there was no water access. So on the final descent down into Bullfrog Lake, we ran into a creek. It's probably the outflow from Bullfrog Creek, past the CCC camp, or the CCC workers doing trail maintenance. And he said the creek access was right below them, so thank God. I drank, I don't know, probably a solid straight liter, and consumed some salty snacks, so I'm glad for that. But this has been steep, man. I don't know how people can go up this way doing the Ray Lake Sloop. I wouldn't want to do it. It's been steep downhill since 11. It's probably 3 o'clock by now, 2:30. And my toes are starting to hurt. And our legs are definitely going to be trashed today. Well, we finally reached Vedette Meadows. So this is Vedette Meadows. It's pretty scenic. Said it was 13 miles to Cedar Grove, which is where we're heading eventually, not today, tomorrow. We only have a few more miles to get to our camp tonight. This must be the meadow right here. Very scenic. A lot of people camp here. Like there's somebody over there. Looks like they're setting up their tents right now. tents right there. People out in the meadow. This is the hot spot for bears and deers right here.
If I go, I'm going crazy. But my darling, take me there. If I go, I'm going crazy.
All the rocks.
But my
We're working our way toward the junction where our trail camp is going to be. It about 2.5 miles maybe. Who knows? I see the trail. Looks like it's down there. And it looks like the trail forks right and left. It's depending on which canyon you want. I don't know which way we're going, right or left. But looks like it's going to be scenic over the next mile or two. Little cascading waterfall right over here.
Well, we're working our way down Bubbs Creek and from Vedette Meadow, and I was saying back at Vedette Meadow, where's the water? So not only is the water here, it's been on the trail, so we'd have to step gingerly through the trail and not slip, but this is Bubbs Creek.
At least we're finally out of the deserty environment. We're back down here to back into tree line and water. You don't realize how precious water is. Now this is what we're looking at. We've been following Bubbs Creek for the last several miles as it worked its way downstream. We're looking for our Junction Meadow, which is probably somewhere on the other side of those trees, I'm hoping. We got to get there first.
We've been descending for quite a while. We're just a little bit of maybe a mile and a half out of Junction Meadow, and every once in a while when you're going downhill you need to look back at the uphill and see where you came from. We didn't come from any of those, but we came from the V right in the middle of the photo, right there. So still heading down through the Manzanita into Junction Meadow. Okay, we're continuing to follow Bubbs Creek, and we found the money shot spot where it earns a pretty good waterfall status. Going all the way to the bottom there.
It's a pretty impressive view from right here. That's a big drop right there. And we're tired. We're tired and we're hot. We have about another 2 miles, maybe a little less than that to go, but it's views like this to make it worth its while.
We've found another, this is what, our third gate?
Yeah.
Our third gate for keeping the livestock in check and not roaming away. We ready to go through?
Yep.
All right, let's go through.
This one's a little easier than the last one.
Push it in. That doesn't look easy.
All right. All right, well, it's about 4 in the afternoon. We've had quite the adventurous day. Hiked up to top of Glen Pass from Ray Lakes and then worked down from 12,000 feet all the way down to 8,400 feet where we are right now. It's pretty brutal, it's hot. But now we're loving this. We're only about a quarter mile from Junction Meadow, and if I can see a sign right up here, I don't know what it says. Could be just stay off the grass. But just passed a couple of guys who were heading up, and they said it was about a half mile away. So we're only probably a half mile, 3/4 of a mile from camp. And this has been a tough day. Mileage wise, it wasn't that bad, but the incline, I mean, going from 10.5 to 12 and then back down to 85 was bad. All right, here's the sign. Junction Meadow, road's in 12 miles. That's where we're going tomorrow. But at Meadow 2.5, let's see what this side of the sign says. East Lake 3, Lake Reflection 5. So this must be the junction.
Well, we've always known that it's been. Our last day will be 10 miles, right?
Yeah.
So this is 12 miles, and the water does sound far.
Yeah, so we got a ways to go still.
I think they were right. We had a long downhill stretch today from way up behind all that, way back. I mean, we did about 9 miles today, and the trail is just going by here, and so we popped in here to Junction Meadow. First time I've seen grass, I think, and we picked up this nice little campsite. There's a bunch more down there with a much larger fire ring. It's more like a communal fire ring, and a lot of separate campsites that are real close to each other, but we've got our own little spot over here for our final night at Junction Meadow, and we're pretty spent, so looking forward to getting some dinner in us. It's probably the late, yeah, we rolled in here about 5. That's the latest. We usually roll in about 3 to 4, somewhere in there, but the 2 miles of up to get over a 12,000 foot Glen Pass, and then another 6-7 miles to get back down here to about 8,400 to Junction Meadow. So we're gonna make some dinner and then have a fire, and tomorrow we got 10 miles out to get to Roads Inn where our cars are parked.
We're at Junction Meadows. It's a pretty nice camp. Got a nice fire ring. Been gathering firewood for a while. I set my pyramid shelter up in the corner. There's a little bit of gap in the front end, but I don't care. Jerry's got his marmot limelight over here. I was going to set it up in the back. There's a kind of a secret spot in the back, but there was a footpath that led from there back into the forest, and I know there's a lot of bears here and deer. I just don't want to be surprised in the middle of the night when a bear walks up to my pyramid shelter and realizes the front end's open. Anyway, this is our camp. We got here just in time because it started to fill up really fast. There are some other campsites that are smaller and they're a little farther from the water. Ours isn't too bad. We'll take it, especially on day 4. It's a little tough to get down to this spot, but at least we have access to the water. This is one of the camp chores. When you get to camp, you have to always filter water. You can't trust how clean the water is, even though it looks pretty pristine here. You never really know what's upstream. Using this little bag makes it handy. I'm sure this water is probably pretty good because there's really nothing above us. This water's cold. It's coming from probably 12,000 feet, this water. There was some pretty good waterfalls way up valley earlier today. I'll do this a couple of times. And screw on the filter. There's several different ways to do it. You can squeeze it, which is why it's called the squeeze system, or you can just let gravity do the work. Just takes a few minutes. I'll probably fill up this bottle here, and then I'll fill up my big platypus bladder. I'll probably fill this one up and then fill the bladder up. And then take a dirty water bag back to camp so I don't have to do this tomorrow. It'll just take me a few minutes. I want good, clean, fresh water. But this is a scenic spot. This is Junction Meadow. The campsites aren't that great. It's kind of marshy, and there's a lot of horse droppings, so I don't know if this is a pack camp or what this is. But we'll take it. It's in the shade. It's got trees. The dirt pad is fairly nice. And we're so exhausted right now, we couldn't go any farther if we had to. Tomorrow we're going to have about 10 miles to hike out to get us back to Cedar Grove and the trailhead at the Ray Lakes Loop. So one more day, and then we'll be back to civilization. So when this is done filtering, I have to go back and make dinner, clean up, and get some warm clothes on because it's probably going to get chilly tonight.
I've been sitting up drinking all the words I said. There's a shark on my ceiling and a salesman in my head. You're a hypnotist, like a highway in the night.